Hi, my name's Andrew Wong and I'm a cosplayer. I love cosplay, especially cosplay that involves a character where I don't have to wear a shirt. Today I'm dressed as one of my favorite all-time classics, which is Bruce Lee. Hiya! So, I'm going to give you some handy tips on how you can increase your muscle mass and decrease your body fat percentage so you can look good dressed as Bruce Lee. Now, today's first tip is this. It's what's called intermediate fasting. Everybody who wants to become fit and healthy, to increase their muscle mass in order to decrease their body fat percentage so they can get cut like this, has to perform a very strict diet which is called intermediate fasting. This is what it involves. Every day consists of 24 hours, and 16 hours of that day you don't eat anything. And I mean it. So say for example, if you have an average of 4 to say 8 hours of sleep, then after you wake up you don't eat breakfast, you don't eat lunch. It's okay to for example drink water or drink tea or coffee, anything that has 0 calories. Even say for example Diet Coke, because the caffeine in Coke and tea and coffee has the ability to burn energy, especially energy that's stored in your liver. So what happens is when you practice intermediate fasting, it forces your body into a process called ketosis. Ketosis is a process whereby the body burns fat as energy. Now, during the window of 8 hours, when you're allowed to eat, you eat very healthy foods that contain protein. I'm talking about chicken, I'm talking about beef, pork, fish. But however, one of the cheapest and most efficient forms of protein is eggs. Eggs are so simple. Like for example, I'll get some eggs, throw into a blender with some milk and water, and then I'll make it into a nice smoothie and drink the whole lot. Or you can make a big giant omelette and add some, for example, some tin tuna or tin sardines or a bit of cheese and eat that. And another important thing is eating vegetables, and the greener the meaner. Things like spinach, sweet potato leaves, which was one of my favorite, lettuce. Fruit is considered okay, but you have to remember fruit contains natural sugars. So things like the Atkins diet tells you to avoid fruit because of the natural sugar in it. But I think a bit of fruit, like an apple, an orange, kiwi fruit, berries, they contain fiber and vitamins and minerals as well as energy. So, intermediate fasting, that is my very important point when it comes to cutting, to looking lean. So if you dress as a cosplayer like Bruce Lee, you can look as good as this. And I know it's difficult, because just imagine it. You know, 16 hours a day you can't eat anything, but you're allowed to drink, and you can get hungry, which is the reason why those 8 hours in which you're allowed to eat something, make sure that's nutrient dense food. So that's why eggs, in particular, are my favorite protein. And don't worry about fat. See, that's the whole thing is, when you eat the egg yolk, which contains most of the fat, or say for example if you eat a piece of pork or a piece of beef which has fat on it, same thing, a lot of fish has is very oily, like say for example mackerel and tuna and salmon. The thing is this, ketosis. Your body learns to burn fat as energy, and that's the reason why in intermediate fasting you have to cut out all carbs as much as possible. I'm talking about white rice, white potatoes, white bread, anything with white flour in it, like cakes, pasta. Because what happens is anything that contains starches or sugars, your body will burn, and then convert to fat. So by eating fat, you're actually teaching your body, hey, fat is a good form of energy to burn. So intermediate fasting, the very important thing that you have to follow. This is me, Andrew Wong, posing as Bruce Lee.